I'm logged into Twitch under the Leyline account, so I can chat as us. When do I see the broadcast?
Welcome to the Leyline podcast, Game Changers by Leyline. Tonight's episode is titled 2020. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Isn't that an awesome expression? I love it. It's making me feel good. We've got special guest Bryan Chang in the house with us. We have talked about him and his organization a number of times. So we're like, you know what? Let's bring him in. Let's actually, hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Not calling him a horse at all, but that's the expression, as weird that expression is. We are called Game Changers. Why are we called Game Changers? Because we are about changing the game. Sorry if that sounds redundant, but it is. That's the case. That's what we're all about. That's what Leyline is all about. And those we bring in, we're trying to bring in people who are about changing the game too, changing the game around the world, making the world a better place, fixing a lot of the problems that we've seen just in 2020 alone, but problems that have been around, messing stuff up, been hard for us to get over, like poverty, been around probably since the dawn of time. I bet cavemen, there were some cavemen who was like, oh, I got way more rocks than you. Screw you are poor. And it sucks. And we want to wipe that out, don't we? We want to wipe out poverty. And we're doing that by making a game out of charity, doing charitable works, reward, incentive, fun, leaderboards, competition, doing something good, getting something good in return. I can't make it as simple as any more simpler than that. I think, I don't know. I'm refining it every week. Everybody's like, hey, you're going to be the one that pitches it. I'm like, I feel like I pitch it every week. Yeah, I just keep doing it. Okay, I'll be pitching Leyline. But my man Boogy, he's in the house and he walks around anywhere. He might even go to the doctor's office and all of a sudden everybody in the whole hospital will know about Leyline. This guy's pitching it left and right. So,
everywhere.
Hey, Boogy.
No one is safe. No one is safe from me talking about Leyline. The other day, something happened, but I was like, they were taking my blood. I'm like, hey, have you heard of, cloud computing? We're trying to save the world. I was like, I don't feel that good. I'm very lightheaded. But did you know? Check it out. It's at leyline.gg. Turns out the nurse who was taking my blood was a Dota player and total gamer.
Oh, right on. And you don't have to. You do not have to just be a gamer to be a part of this. When I'm pitching it to all the sorts of folks, like, oh, okay, well, I'm not really a gamer. I'm like, but
yeah.
you like board games. You like baseball. I mean, it's in human nature to do some game like it. It's just, you put kids together, they're going to make a game out of a stick and a hoop. I mean, they did it. I forget what that game's called. Is it hoop and stick? I don't remember, but I've seen it. It's like kids make a game. We make games out of everything. What is it called? I'm totally stumbling over myself. So
I'm like jump rope.
Hoop and stick.
Hoop and stick.
My
Somebody is
favorite
watching is like,
game.
that has actually got a very sophisticated name and it goes back to the ancient times, and it sure might. I don't know. But yeah, we make games out of stuff. Everybody does. So if you're not an online video gamer or a console video gamer or a video gamer at all, still doing something game-like, I think people still get into. And to do something where the game is charitable works, cloud computing, donating your computer's processing power in the background when you're not using it to help solve cancer, dude, and then get rewarded and then be able to rub it in other people's faces like, look at how many points I got. You better get on it. So yes, gaming it up. All right. So what are we talking about tonight? We got a lot of cool stuff we're going to talk about, right?
I just need to go backwards on the points thing. So I was doing very well. I had about 7,500 points. I do my donating when I'm sleeping, and which is not very much, but I was like, oh, well, then I'm going to try and get this Bitcoin gift card. And then I saw my total drop by 2,000. I went, shit, damn it. Now I look at the leaderboard. I'm so far behind a bunch of people. I should have held on to the points. Oh, but I'm actually going to donate that gift card.
I wouldn't mind a Bitcoin gift card. That sucker is skyrocketing right now. It's going through the roof.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give that to somebody.
I'm going to give it to somebody in chat. Last week. What are we talking about this week?
Giveaway time.
Ooh. What are we talking about this week? What we're going to talk about this week is what we're going to do next year, what we're looking forward to doing next year. But before we get into any of that stuff, I want to introduce our guest. He's usually behind the scenes as our producer. His name is Bryan Chang. He's extremely wonderful human being. He's got a lovely, lovely dog. It's the dog's birthday today. It's the dog's birthday today. So if you see the dog, make sure you say happy birthday.
We all have to say happy
And
birthday.
and he has this great organization called Dance Music Initiative. I talk about it every week because it's amazing. And instead of me fumbling over my words like I do every week, I'm going to have Bryan tell you about Dance Music Initiative. Welcome, Mr. Bryan.
Hey, thanks, Boogie. Appreciate being on the show. I'm usually behind the scenes, but it's kind of fun being on the side of the camera. So I run a nonprofit. It's called Dance Music Initiative, and it's about our goal, our mission is to collectively inspire creativity through dance music culture. So basically, it's just a bunch of DJs getting together and spinning music.
That's awesome.
But in addition to that, what we do is one of our primary programs is we teach the community how to DJ for free, right? So before COVID, we would set up our like DJ station and lab in like a public venue. We were meeting every Monday night at a pub in Tustin, the Old Dubliner. And if you're local and you know where that is, and so yeah, we would no worries. We would set up kind of our classes, and we would be there teaching from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it's open to the public. No experience necessary, no gear necessary because we brought everything, and we would just teach people how to the ins and outs of DJing.
All ages?
All ages.
No,
all
wow.
ages, yeah. So it's a restaurant and bar. So if you get there at 8 p.m. and you're under 21 with like an adult, then it's okay, and you just end up staying there. But yeah, we definitely teach all levels, right? And I like to teach people on vinyl and turntables because learning that way, you really build up the fundamentals, right? You really learn how to DJ by ear, which is what I think is super important, right? There's a lot of great tools out there that make DJing a lot easier, and the technology is super helpful. But one thing that happens is when you learn that way, you often rely on your eyes a lot more than your ears. And so by training people on turntables and records, there's no waveforms to line up. There's no sync button and numbers to make sure are the same. The only thing that matters is your ears, right? What you hear. And the reason why that's important and why I stress that as a teacher is because that's the only thing that your audience cares about, right? When you're playing in a club, your audience isn't looking at your gear. They don't care how the music looks on your screen or whatever. It just matters, is the vibe right? Does it sound good? Are you playing good music, right? And by boiling everything down when you're learning to just those basics, it helps you focus on the right thing, right? So you're on the same page as your audience. So that's kind of like our teaching philosophy. We definitely do teach on all the digital equipment too. We have CDJs and whatnot during class, but we always run through every student that comes by through the more traditional equipment. And it also builds a nice kind of respect for the art form. And we sprinkle in a little bit of culture and history lesson in our kind of intro class as well.
He's a really good teacher. I got to tell you, we had the Leyline retreat, and he taught me how to make some origami, and I am all thumbs.
Origami.
So yeah, it was great. And he's like, "All right, anybody else want for the origami lesson?" I was like, "Yep, I do." And it was, now I pull on it, and it's a crane that flaps. It's wonderful. He's a really good. He's a really good.
Thank you so much for being a good sport, Boogie. Like I when we were putting together
in
like
my case, it's in my Hall of Fame case. Yeah, never leaving.
When we were putting
something someday.
When we were putting together the plan of events for the thing, I was like, well, we're gonna do a lot of work and talk a lot of business, right? But wouldn't it be fun to do like arts and crafts during the retreat, right? Just to kind of like remind ourselves, like, hey, let's have some fun. Let's kind of do things that we all kind of enjoyed as a kid, right? Just to kind of liven it up a bit. So thank you so much for partaking.
Well, it spoke to me because I just happened to be a child with a beard. So moving forward, talking about Leyline, yeah, well, you have a background of being a producer, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. And
So
so
give us a
producer,
little bit.
go for it. Yeah, yeah. So producer has a lot of different meanings in different industries, right? If you're, and my professional background is a video game producer, and so that means it's like a fancy title for like project manager in a sense, right? Someone who organizes a team, facilitates communication uh, to execute on a goal, right? A business goal or a sales goal or whatever, right? And in the video game industry, it's about building video games, right? Organizing engineers, artists, designers, sound engineers, all to help build this like interactive entertainment experience. I think Boogie, in your industry, more in like the Hollywood side, they have producers, right? And
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
like maybe share a little bit about like what a producer does on the film and TV side.
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to the guy who brought me in, Peter. If you listen to this, Peter Glosey, I'll have to text him later and make him listen to it. But he does some crazy work. Personally, being on the executive producer side, I'm more on the creative side. I just come up with stuff and then he cracks the whip. So, uh, for lack of better terms, he's the guy. Like he's on the horn. He gets everybody lined up, the crews, the lighting, the writers, the editors, everything. He does the entire creative process and he just produces the entire thing until it goes from paper to lights, camera, action. And there is so much to go. Like people that do that kind of producing, I have so much respect for because it's not only you have to keep your stuff in line, you have to keep everybody's stuff in line. And if somebody needs something, you have to connect them so it makes sure it happen. And it's so important because if we miss a step, you push back time, that costs more money. Sometimes things are budgeted and it's like, oh, you does not look good when you spend extra money that shouldn't be spent. So yeah, the producers and associate producers, they hustle. They're like the glue that keeps everything together. I think that's very, very important. Yeah. And so I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah,
Someone
I
else
think
do that work.
I think in regardless of what industry you're in, you're definitely helping make sure things are getting done.
Yep.
You're obviously overseeing the schedule and the budget, right? You're doing a lot to make sure people are talking, right? If it's especially in a creative industry, which is producers usually associated with entertainment, you have to help reinforce the vision, right, or the business goals, or the rules of the IP that you're using, right? Like if you are doing, I used to work at Blizzard, and so we're doing Hearthstone, right? And the Hearthstone was World of Warcraft themed. We got to make sure all the characters' names are spelled right. All the voice acting is all done by the same people from the game wherever possible. Everything is consistent, on brand, using the right fonts and colors, right? So the producer often has to make sure that all those things are getting upheld as well.
And I
How
gotta
did
say,
you get into DJing? Like, where did that start? I'm kind of like, let's rewind the clock. The clock. I want to go back to the origin story of this.
Definitely have always loved music my whole life. And then I started playing the drums when I was in high school. And you might be able to see them in the right there.
his battling drum sets back there.
So yeah, like playing the drums is cool. I was always drawn to rhythm, and I also love dancing. So, but I don't know if anyone else is a drummer out there. But one of the biggest headaches of being a drummer is that one, it's a really boring instrument to play by yourself. Like it's like you can't serenade somebody with a drum set. It's
Little drummer boy.
I love you.
Hold on, wait right there, and then you go run and you set up 50 pieces of equipment. You say, okay, here you go. You know what I mean? It's not,
drummers and bassists.
Yes.
By themselves, it's
yeah, it's not a romantic instrument. It's not an impromptu instrument. You got to plan a lot ahead. And it just sounds empty without everything else. It's a backup. It's a backbone instrument, right? So if you don't have a group of people to play with on a regular basis that are one, creatively on the same page, same schedule, same goals, right? Like some people like, oh, I just want to be in a jam band. Other people like, no, I want to be a rock star and I want to like have this huge career, right? All different levels of commitment and like, you know, day to day, right? So if you don't have all of that, 3 other people on that same page, it's really hard to get a band project going. And I was just like, man, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. What else can I do with music, right? Well, DJing overlaps with drumming a lot, right? Like you've got that rhythm, you've got that kind of backbone kind of thing, and you're kind of orchestrating the night of the event, right? But you can do it all by yourself, which is really nice. So it was kind of a way for me to still be creative and express myself with music. So that's kind of how I got into it originally. And I actually was online. This was 2010. I was on Craigslist and I was looking up drum gear. And I was like, okay, well, let me just see what kind of drums are being sold, right? And then I came across this ad that said free DJ lessons in Orange County. And I was like, that sounds weird and too good to be true. But I was like, well, it's held at a bar. It's in a public place. Like, if it's bad, whatever. I just wasted a night. You know what I mean? Can't be that bad. So I showed up, totally like kind of like poked my head in, and it was legit. Like a bunch of people had all their equipment set up and had a crowd around them and teaching everything. And so I was like, this is perfect, right? And I got great knowledge from them, and it was super inspiring. And I was like, how can I help out too? How can I be a part of this and help make this happen? So I just started immediately taking the things I immediately learned and teaching the other new people who were just like maybe 1 or 2 weeks behind me as far as attending the classes, and just kind of helped spread the message. And over time, I was just like, I love this. Like, this is what I think everyone should be doing. So I just kind of like took the reins and like kept it going, and we've been having it go for like 10 years now. And it wasn't until 6 years in is when I actually formally created the nonprofit around it. So now it's a little bit more formal and established, but the vibe has always been the same as what was taught to me. So I'm a product of the program, and now I'm teaching it. So it's been a lot of fun.
Man, you're paying it forward.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So before it was an official nonprofit, it was more of just like a community night type of thing in Orange County.
It was super like low key casual, and it still is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just because we're an official entity recognized by the state of California as a nonprofit, like we're a bunch of DJs or aspiring DJs who like to share the knowledge instead of hoard it, right? Like there was this thing like back in the day where DJs, when they were spinning on records, they would black out the label on the record to hide the song, because you having a particular song gave you a competitive edge over other DJs back in the day. And because you're spinning physical records, you're limited by copies sold, where they were available and all that. So DJs actually had more to like market or more to like claim to saying like, you got to come and see me because I've got all the cool songs kind of thing, right?
Huh.
And now with Shazam and the internet and digital music, like none of those things are barriers anymore. So me coming up as a DJ in that world, it didn't make sense to me to hoard it, right? Like I'm not doing this specifically to make a living. I still had a day job, and like let's give out the knowledge, give out the music, because it's about bringing people together and celebrating just fun art, right? So that was kind of.
Have you seen any of your students like start just no experience and now are actually DJing and making careers or anything like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So like a lot of my students have all, played a lot of different venues all over Southern California. Some of them get booked in like other places like Vegas and Arizona and whatnot. And they all have varying levels of their DJ career. And it's largely because that's what they did, right? Like they took the initiative or they put in the work. I just established a good fundamental foundation for them to then, approach it with the right culture and with the right mindset. But as far as their artistry and what they're bringing to the table and their energy and effort, that's them building on top of that.
That's wonderful that you're sharing that knowledge. There's a really good philosopher that I'd like to quote. It is Chris Griffin from Family Guy. It is what good is the nose gold if you can't share it with the townspeople? And that really is a great metaphor, even though it's silly. What good is the knowledge if you don't have anybody to share? You know my background. I taught mixed martial arts for a long time.
Mm.
That's how martial arts got passed down.
Yeah.
That was it, just by sharing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate that a lot. I need to be one of your students. So, speaking of being your students and being on like this, how has the pandemic how has it affected your DJing lessons?
It's wrecked everything.
Mm.
So, we no longer host our weekly classes in person.
Right.
And obviously events are all shut down or strongly discouraged. I remember it was March 9th. It was like
Oof.
I don't know, the week before, like early in the week before, kind of everything became mandatory, at least in California. And I was like, I see this thing. I think it's pretty serious. I took it upon myself to cancel classes before it was legally mandated or whatever, right? Because our community is as strong as its members are, right? And I did not feel comfortable putting my community in danger in any way and risk their health or the health of their relatives, right? Or their friends and family, just to do this DJ thing, right? There's a bigger thing at play here. So I've shut down all the events that we were doing, and it's definitely taken its toll. But that really pushed me to figure out how to like extend our reach online, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been doing a lot of fun like things. We do a lot of like classes that are online now. I've been recording snippets of our classes and making little short mini lessons out of them. It was something I was hesitant to do for a long time because I always wanted people to get the knowledge in person. Like, if you want to learn, come by, right? And not because like I care about how it's taught, but because DJing to me is all about gathering in person. So I didn't want a virtualized experience. Actually, one of my like overarching goals of the whole nonprofit, in addition to DJing, is to preserve in-person connection and interactivity and sharing of art, right? As technology grows and as the world moves forward, I think technology is pulling us further apart, right? Streaming is great. We're doing a podcast, right?
Yeah.
But how cool would it be? It doesn't replace like an in-person panel, right? Where you have a live audience where you can interact with. And it's even more important for a club scene, right? Like
Oh yeah.
watching a rave online is like 10% of the experience versus being with your friends in person, meeting strangers, dancing on the dance floor, not saying a word to these people, but communicating through your self-expression, And so I want to preserve that as the new generations come around and may not have an inclination to go outside anymore. It's the same analogy where like, the older generation says like, oh, well, video games are around and no kids play outside anymore, right? I was a child of the NES days, right? And I played a lot of Nintendo and I didn't play outside that much. And, I missed out on swinging on trees and, digging up bugs and stuff like that. And I want to
put it like that.
I want to preserve that with dance music culture because I think it's an amazing thing that more people should experience. But anyways, go ahead.
How do you feel about VR in terms
So-
of DJing? Because I saw it come up a lot these days as VR is growing, and when DJs miss out on that ability to have a live crowd, they said that VR can kind of substitute that. I wonder how you feel about that.
That's a great question. So I think, especially during the pandemic, like VR is a great replacement, right? The things that it won't be able to reproduce is sharing space with other people, right? Also, your sound system on your computer or whatever you're playing it off of, either you're using headphones and a headset, nothing replaces the feeling of a large sound system that is pushing waves and air at you and you feel it in your chest, right? And that's kind of one of this weird experience that we get to experience at a big concert or at a rave or something.
Face
Is that,
deafening
deaf
you.
people, even
Yeah.
deaf folks. My wife is a sign language interpreter, and so we have deaf friends, and they will go to those big concerts, and they can't quite hear, but they feel, and
Mm.
it's electrifying, So yeah, to your point, exactly. Nothing can
Absolutely.
replace that.
So, but what I've seen VR do really well is virtual teaching, right? So instead of me zooming a class to you where like we're separated by this window and I've got my gear and you've got your gear, we can both like interact on the same gear, right? So that's really good. I think VR could be a really good teaching tool. VR is also cool because like you as an attendee have self-expression. You can dress up your avatar. You could look however way you want to look. And so you can be creative on more ways than just your dance moves. So I think that's a cool thing. Also, it's cheaper. There's not necessarily like an admission cost you have to pay. You're connecting people from all over the world, right? So there's definitely a lot of cool things with VR. You just lose a lot of that physicality to it.
Man,
As
not
gotta-
expressing myself just based on my dance moves, like I feel that.
Mhm.
And VR could do wonders for me.
I got some love from the from chat, and it happens to be the CEO of Leyline giving us some
Ooh.
love. He said, "Love the cyberpunk outfit, Brian." Now that may be why I like that sweater in the first place, but it is awesome. And I did see the picture on your website where you look stunning, stunning. And he also said, "Leyline points for dance exercise." Well,
Oh,
that's great because that'll lead me into what the hell do you do for Leyline? What do you? I mean, we're talking about Dance Music Initiative, which I love, but I met you at the Leyline retreat, and this dude wails on drums. We played rock band like all
rock
night.
band. Yeah.
That's right, and we had the CEO on
On the
vocals and
mic.
lead guitar. Yeah, it was awesome. That was awesome. So, what is it that you do for Leyline?
So, like a producer in all these entertainment forums, I produce a lot of the stuff that Leyline does. I think the project that I most recently completed was the crowdfunding campaign, right? As far as like doing all the research to figure out what platform we want to use, which makes the most sense for us. Working in tandem with Christian and a video production company that Boogy actually recommended to us. Called Altered State Entertainment. They were amazing to work with, by the way, and they did really good work. So we produced and created a crowdfunding video that kind of explained and set everything up. So, people who come by the page, they say, "What is Leyline?" That basically gives you a very high level view, as well as kind of the marketing strategy behind it and the visuals and our milestone reward incentives and stuff like that. So I worked with a lot of folks to kind of put all those things together and to kind of put it out there. In addition to that stuff, I work very closely with both Cody and Crystal on like social media and like videos, like FAQs. Like Cody, you're amazing. You do an amazing job with that stuff. Like super fast and
He
super
really
polished.
does.
Like it's really good to work with you. So yeah, like a lot of like stuff, just make stuff happen in a
Make
sense.
stuff happen. No, I think
Yeah.
you set the tone for us, kind of, and kind of set us in the right direction and be like, maybe veer this way a little bit. But while I am, or Brian tells us more about what he does at Leyline, let's check out this awesome photo of it.
I love this photo.
I
love
love
this
it.
photo.
I love it so much. When and where was this taken?
Is it on the screen? Let's see.
Yeah,
Love that photo.
it's so cool. Yeah,
That's a great photo.
it
So
is a great photo.
I'm looking at the Twitch stream. Oh, there it is. I'm at a delay. That's why.
Yeah,
You're in the
there's a
same
lag.
sweater. Your
Yeah.
hair is a lot shorter.
Yeah, a lot shorter
Before
hair.
the pandemic.
I'm wearing the same swim sweatshirt, and so this is a press photo that
So
was
everybody,
taken.
little did you know, Brian actually only has one sweater. Sorry, I didn't mean to out you there, but
That's I'm working for Leyline to get those donations so I could get a new sweater. So
Let's go.
that's where those
Let's
gift
go.
cards are going. Yeah. So at Blizzard, I know this amazing photographer who I'm going to give credit to. His name is Josh Gunder. He does really, really good work. And his specialty is actually more in the boudoir kind of photography. And so, but he knew me, and I asked him, like, hey, do you do like press shots?
Boudoir.
Yeah, Dudoir. Exactly. That's dude. That is amazing. Please trademark that. So yeah, like I asked him, and he said, for you, I would do it. So this was part of the photo shoot, and I don't know what inspired me to do this, but it worked out. And
Looking great.
he he airbrushed all the photos, so all the imperfections and stuff, and lighting and whatnot. But yeah.
I've seen him in person. Imperfections, very little, if any. He's a very handsome, intelligent guy.
Man.
Yes.
Oh,
And I'm
God.
swooning more so because of that
Yeah,
photo.
that picture looks like somebody just challenged him to battle on the dance floor, and he went, "Bro,
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'm coming
have
coming out right now.
no idea what you just asked for."
We all got to do the Bryan Chang pose,
Oh my God! No, this is gonna be a meme.
Yeah, it's
We
so
don't need
awesome.
polls.
Like
Someone
an
create an
instant
emo.
It's the new thing. It's the Bryan
I
Chang.
love it. Do the Bryan Chang.
That'll be the thing of 2021, right?
Right.
We're
Bryan
already
Chang
going
challenge.
in the right direction, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Do the
No,
bright.
speaking of moving into 2021, I don't need to talk about how crazy 2020 has been. I think if we were to ask what were the things that sucked about this year, in probably a minute you'd have 100 things. I mean, I could, and nobody wants to listen to that. We're not a downer. We're game changers, right? And so we're all aware. We are aware. It's not like our heads are in the sand. There are a lot of problems, and that's what Leyline's trying to address and trying to challenge and build global community toward. But there were some positive things that came out of 2020. I know maybe that's a news flash because I'm sure we feel like just sunken in the quagmire of the negative things that have happened this year. And I just want to ask our group here, our group discussion personally, what was something personally that was really good, really positive that came out of 2020? And if you want to think about it, I can answer mine. I've got two.
Okay.
And my second one I think is going to make me gush a little bit, but my first one is
I cry easy.
I know. I'm sappy too.
I have my tissue ready. Let's go.
But my first one is having to work from home. I've been working from home since March, and I've just had so much more time with my family. I've got 3 kids and a wife I love with all of my being, and just even kind of like walking out of the room during and having my lunch break with my kids. And it's just, that's been really, really good. And the second one came a few months ago. Y'all, Leyline, you guys. Yeah, that's the one. That's actually choking me up. Yeah, I mean, aside from Boogy, I've not even met a single person from Leyline physically. And you guys are becoming some of the most dear people to me. And what we've been doing with Leyline has just given me motivation and hope. And so thank you, Jeremy, and all of you guys, and Boogie,
Shout
and
out to
for pulling
Jeremy.
me into this. But everybody that we work with, Leyline has been a huge positive for me in this year. I'm sorry if that just it's like top that. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Be
Chris,
that,
can
you
go
little trouts.
Well,
Cutting
I feel
onions.
like I always go after Cody and I always copy his, but I swear I'm not. But well, actually, I think I graduated this year, guys, from college. Yes, thank you so much.
Where'd you graduate from?
The University of Southern California.
USC. Fight on, Trojan. Let's go.
USC.
Right on.
Right on.
I'm like so not. I don't have that Trojan pride in me. I think it's because I'm a transfer student, and like for almost a year, I've been doing school online now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
starting from like so I'm just like, yeah, I think I graduated. They said they're gonna send me my diploma, so maybe like I didn't attend Zoom graduation, but that's actually a really big milestone for me because it's taken me a while. And through graduating, I sent my resume over to Jeremy to just take a look and like give me some pointers. and he was like, "We would love to have you on the Leyline team." And to be honest, I'm kind of a very, like, if I'm at home not doing anything, I can kind of not only get lazy but get very depressed, right? Because you're not really talking to anyone. And although I'm very introverted, I think Leyline really, like Cody said, has given me the motivation to, still be creative or still try to work. And it's just been really, really nice getting to know all of you guys. And I've only met Jeremy and Christian that one time, when we had like the first Leyline lunch podcast thing. But yeah, I haven't met anyone else in real life. And
How did you know Jeremy to send him your resume? How did you already know?
I knew him, like my friend introduced me to him because we volunteered for a different organization together, or like my friend and I, and Jeremy did also. So then we met through that, and he's been like telling me about Leyline, and that's the first thing that I said. I was like, I'm not a gamer though, so I don't know like what this is. And then like he would explain it to me more, and then I started streaming, and I was like, oh my god, this is revolutionary. Everybody needs to know about this. Yeah, but it's been a heck of a ride, and it's been fun, and yeah.
Right on. What
Yeah.
about you, B?
Yeah, definitely Leyline was a really cool thing that just came around at the right time. As I was unable to do as much DMI stuff, Dance Music Initiative, it just kind of worked out perfectly. I also teach kids how to DJ through my program as well. And so because the school shut down and I no longer had to go on site to schools and my hours got cut back, way back, it just kind of opened up this window for me to get involved. And I've known Jeremy for quite some time. I worked with him very closely at Blizzard. And yeah, he was someone who I always trusted and believed in could do great things. And so the moment I heard that he was starting his own company, I was like, man, how do I get involved with that? I think that's a great opportunity and vision for what Leyline is trying to do. So, but yeah, as far as good things that happened to me in addition to Leyline, I focused in 2020 in general before quarantine. I started focusing a little bit more on my health, right? Exercising a little bit more. I also, because of quarantine, I said something on the back burner that I've never prioritized was board game design. Come from a gaming background, and so I've been working with a group of other designers and meeting on a regular basis, swapping game design ideas, working on prototypes, using each other as peer accountability, and getting some really quality feedback and playtests in. So that's been awesome. So I didn't think I would ever finally get around to doing that, and that was really cool. Yeah, so that's like some of the positive things for me personally that came out of 2020.
That's so cool. And I'm kind of curious, do you to make a board game, like, I've got a buddy, he's been actually toying around with ideas of different board games and such. Do you make a prototype? Do you create all the assets and like sell it to, say, Milton Bradley, or like what is the next step to make it on the shelves, right?
Yeah, totally. No, that's a great question. So at the early stages, you might, start with, well, what kind of games does the designer enjoy playing, right? Do you or me or what in this case? And so that might like set yourself in a direction, right? Like, what kind of themes do you enjoy? What kind of game mechanics do you enjoy? So the first game that I worked on with this group, I came up with a game called Robot Rights. And the premise is every player is playing a race of robots, and you're all trying to get equal rights as humans. And so you're lobbying the government to be recognized as a bona fide citizen of this world, right? And so,
hi, Kitty.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
cat.
if anybody's listening to this on SoundCloud at some future date, Boogie's cat just,
jumped on my
A
desk.
wild
and-
cat has
Yeah.
appeared.
So
Sorry about that.
So no worries. But anyways, yeah, you're just trying to lobby the government and pass the Turing test in order to be considered a human, right? That's the premise. But once you have like an idea written down, you have some of your mechanics, and you start to build it, right? And so back in the day, people would cut out pieces of paper and cardboard and actually make all the pieces, right? But today, we've got this great tool. It's called Tabletop Simulator. It's on Steam.
Oh.
And it's a great platform for both playing board games with other people and creating your own. And so I do both. And you can create these prototypes completely digitally, and the iteration is much faster because I don't need to cross out things and write it again, right? I can just change it, type a new text, change the name, change the numbers, and it's super fast and easy. And so people log in and they move little digital pieces around a board that's represented in the game. It's a great tool.
I didn't know Tabletop Simulator let you do that. I thought it was just like 5 board games that just come with
It's
it.
like thousands of board games.
Oh, we should play.
So yeah, absolutely. I can load up my prototype, or I can load up a popular game that someone made a mod of, right?
Well,
So
I know what
Circle
I'm
back to
looking
the
forward
original
to
topic.
next year.
Because
Brian's
Boogie's got
board-
to answer, but I just heard board games. We're game changers. This is cool. This is game changing for me. Like, oh, where that? So back to the original question. Personally, what was something positive that came out of the year of 2020 for Boogie?
I had my beautiful daughter. The people that have seen, would you just?
Cat just wants to he wants to be part of the podcast.
Some of you guys seen her. She has my sense of humor. She's ridiculous. When people first talk to me about being a parent, they're like, the fussy and all of this. They don't sleep very much, and she knocks out like 10 hours a night, and she laughs the entire day. And if she's hungry, she goes, eh. Or she poop, and she's good. Other than that, we're golden. That was probably one of the bright things. I should have went first so I could say Leyline first. Should have went first. But Leyline, I come from before the pandemic. I had created a kick-ass game show that was gonna go on some stuff, and it was gonna be filmed in front of a live audience. A couple of you guys seen the set drawings. It was really, really cool, but it got put on hiatus because nobody's filming it. And the industry itself just stopped, and nobody was filming anything in front of a live audience anyway. So that got a little butthurt and got me a little butthurt, but I still got to work a little bit on some interactive stuff for Netflix, and but it gave me a little clout with my friends because I've always had a bunch of weird ass ideas for eternity. But now that I'm a producer, people listen to me a little bit more. And so I think one of my best friends, Oliver, introduced me to Jeremy. And then he's like, you got a bunch of crazy ideas, but now somebody with a lot of money is listening to you. So let me introduce you to Jeremy. And, Jeremy is a lovely, lovely human being. I didn't know what the hell that I would be able to do to participate in Leyline because it is a tech company, it's and we're making actual video games and stuff like that, and we're gamifying altruism, and I didn't know where I would participate. And I had a long conversation with Jeremy, and I was hooked. There was no way that I was not going to be a part of this. After talking to him, he's so infectious with his smile, with the things that he says. He's just a lovely, lovely human being. And I know you're listening, so I love you. And he's a good dude. And to put everything that he had on the line, how do you not get behind somebody like that? So
Yeah.
that was like the first thing. So that was a blessing in disguise, meet Jeremy. And then the floodgates open. I meet Brian, I meet Christian, I meet Crystal, I meet everybody in the community team. If I start naming off the names, it'll be here forever. But we are surrounded by such creative, wonderful, brilliant people. It just breeds more creativeness and more there's no restrictions on how creative you can be here. And there's no you don't have 30 seconds to really make an impact on people. People listen to you here. They really listen to what you're saying, and I love this place. I love the people that I work with here at Leyline, and I know that we're setting something up for the future that's just gonna make it a better spot. So that was That was it. But I should have gone first, so I could have said Leyline first.
I wasn't even planning on talking about Leyline, but I'm like, I know I'm gonna ask this question. And for me, yeah, being home with my kids. And then
Really?
as I'm answering it right now, I'm like starting to just, feel this well of emotion. I'm like, oh man, Leyline was an amazing thing for me this year. How could I not say that? And so y'all are just a bunch of copycats. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just
So
Sorry
yeah.
about that.
So
man.
But
But
well,
like you
okay,
really feel
so
I think everybody feels it because everyone really believes and is so passionate about this thing that, might not make sense at first, but once you get to, figure out what it is and hear the pitch one more time from Cody, who gives an amazing pitch now, um, everyone is just so passionate and in love with this project that they really, really care about it so much that, like your opinions matter and people really want to listen to your opinions and see like how that would help Leyline and yeah, just our voices being heard and like Boogie said, us being more creative together and helping us and helping Jeremy push this awesome idea out has been really I've been super thankful about it. Yeah.
it's a great team. There's so many things that we're going to accomplish in the future, and there's just so much stuff that we got in the pipelines. Oh man, everybody that's participating in the alpha, if you're not participating, go sign up right now. Leyline.gg, participate, do good shit, get good shit. I said that on a sound clip the other day. It's the truth. We're
Yeah.
gonna pay you for being a good person. That's really the bottom line.
Yeah.
You do good stuff in the world and you're gonna get rewarded.
It sounds
That's
insane. It does. I understand why
Mhm.
people are like, "Where's the catch?" But it's because
go.
we're not in this mindset where this is, hey, this is actually a possibility, and Leyline's making it happen right now. So go sign up for Alpha, join our Discord, guys. Leyline.gg. Check us out.
what do we, you said, we got a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. Let's talk about it, right? I
Ooh.
mean,
Oh.
2020's ending, 2021's beginning really soon, right? And so what's the future? What do we got? What do we got to look forward to?
Well,
Too many
we've
things.
got a crazy NFT sale coming up for here. You get to have a digital item. If you're not familiar with that, please listen to our last week's podcast. That's There's a wizard in crypto and NFT space. Ali, I love you, and that wonderful AOL jacket. But that blew my mind and opened up my eyes. We have that
Yeah.
coming. We have some original games that are going to be on our platform where we've got a bunch of partners that are going to participating stuff that we can't talk about yet. But we've got a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are going to be thrust into poverty or that they might already be in it. And this is a light at the end of the tunnel. We are going to help a lot of people doing what we're doing. And that's a really big one. And my game show is coming. I'll get back into production
you
for my
go.
game show, but
Whoa!
I'm going to give a lot of props to. We're working very closely with Leyline to make it some fun stuff with that going on. Ooh, yeah.
Well, that makes me think of the title of this episode. Setback is a setup for a comeback.
Yeah, that's a Mike
Ooh.
Tyson quote.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. A lot of you guys talk to me, and I'm very silver lining. There's a positive in something. I'll find it, and
I can attest to this. So
you
positive.
you gotta go. If you go into things with negative thought or anything like that, that's how the outcome's going to be. You have to be optimistic and positive. And if you are not that person, come to me. I will uplift you, and I will give you all the love in my heart to try to make you feel better. Because people forget that we're trapped on this rock spinning through infinity together, and we're here. There's nowhere else we're going. We're trying to get to Mars. It's not happened for majority of us. So we gotta empathy is important, and it goes a long way. And I always say it every week: lead with love. It's important. So yeah, I'll give you lots if you need it. But that's my 2021 coming. And we've got so
Someone
much stuff going on with Leyline too. Sorry, I just talked too much in my.
No,
like a
someone said don't be
drug
around
from a-
Boogie too
Whoa!
much. Or he'll have you believing in yourself. I can't.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wow, Jeremy said that we reached 1,000 people on the wait list. Yes. 18 gift cards already claimed and $10,000 prize pool. Guys.
Let's go.
Wow.
That's really exciting. That's a big milestone for us.
While
cool.
crowdfunding, giving stuff away.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the nature of this thing. It really is. It's
One thing that
amazing.
Jeremy says all the time is we need to get more money in people's hands. I just want to get money in people's hands. People that need it, we want to get money in their hands. Go to leyline.gg, check it out. You'll see what we're doing. We'll put money in your hands. Well, digitally anyway.
Well, there's a lot of gift cards you can start earning
Yeah.
by working out every day. You go click the button,
I worked out.
download Boink, choose the projects that you want to be investing your processing power into. So cool. When I saw, I think it was Rosetta was one of them, and I saw that that was working for Alzheimer research, and that's a very big one to me. I've lost many many dear family members on both father and mother's side, and so not only do I just hate Alzheimer's, like many of us hate cancer, I hate cancer too. Grr, let's go cure this darn thing, you know. And so, oh wow, I can just leave my computer on overnight. It costs like a few bucks a month if you run it all the time. Like, you're like, okay, I'm not using it. Instead of turning it off or just leaving it idle, okay, I'm gonna run Boink. Okay, it's adding just a few dollars a month, and it's supporting the process for the researchers to run these models, these simulations. Man, they take a great deal of time, a great deal of processing power. And they could be spending a great deal of money building better supercomputers or renting supercomputers. I don't know, sure. But it's like, hey, I've got a computer to save the researchers that money so they can put it toward what they need to do, and to save time. Like, I can help add, like, parts of the equation will pop over to my computer. I'll just start running it, and it's like filling up. And dude, if that's working toward curing cancer, curing Alzheimer's, I mean, yes, we can do that for free. But now we can make a game out of it. A game that I can actually get like an Apple gift card or an Amazon gift card or I think a Bitcoin gift card. I'm like, well, right.
Show me the money, Jerry. Yes, show me the money.
But if you redeem the gift card, your points will go down.
Oh, the competitive side of me, it's like I like Bitcoin and stuff like that, but I also like winning.
I left my computer on like all week, so I might be beating all of you guys.
Jamie is wrecking everybody.
Crystal hoarding.
Wrecking everybody. I see you, Jamie, wrecking everybody. Spend some of those points, man. All right.
One of my 2021 goals or resolutions is to expand DMI into not only just middle schools, which we're in now, but teaching after-school programs with high school kids. I think that would be an amazing opportunity for some of these kids to just be able to do music, right? Like, it's something that they don't, you know, everyone knows the American school system does not prioritize music, right? And so just giving these kids this opportunity to play on gear that they wouldn't have access to. So hopefully, maybe it'll probably happen maybe at the 2021-2022 school year. Yeah. But that's fine. You know, we're ready to go when it's safe.
And that's a game changer for individual students. And some who I can speak on individual personal experiences as a teacher, and it's not music, it's more video and multimedia production, but it is art. And yeah, a lot of times that is it's just the fun, or we have budget cuts. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Darn it. But yeah. I know a student who turned 20 in my class, still a high school student, and he just had lost all motivation, didn't believe in himself, didn't think he could do anything. He was always the class clown. And I'm like, yes, bring me some class clowns. I need I need talent. I need people to be charismatic and fun and do stuff. And it empowered him. And so we started doing a live stream broadcast of like a sports event, but we made it all ESPN. We had graphics, kind of like what we're doing here, but with students. And you are my host. You are going to be the main anchor, and you're going to host this thing the whole time. He freaked out. I talked him into it. I gave him all these pointers. He did it. And at the end of the day, oh my gosh, it just blew his mind what he could do. And then his mom comes and picks him up, and I'm telling her about it. And she, my son? You're talking about my son? The 20-year-old who just sits at home playing video games all day? He did that? And now he's going to college for sports broadcast.
Awesome.
So
Let's go.
I'm gonna start crying, guys. That's so wholesome. It's just so awesome because like you said, there's so many students who, kind of miss out on the chance to express themselves in other than just your SAT scores, just math and English. So you guys really focusing on other arts like music, video production. It's tear-jerking though. It brings real change, and I think a lot of introverted students would benefit a lot from like DJing lessons, because I don't think anyone would go out of their way to do it or feel that they could do it. But if someone comes to their school and they're like, guys, I'm here to teach you, it's free, all you have to do is just come in the classroom, then that just opens up a door of a whole different number of opportunities for them. So thank you both of you and dance.
I picture the wallflower who's like, I'm not going to go out and dance.
Yeah.
Well, I could be the DJ. Brian was saying he loved dancing, so never mind that. But I'm
Did you see the picture? The battle picture? Back to the picture. Did you see the pose?
Right?
1 second.
That's never not going to be a thing.
Yes.
This is
Right?
We're gonna call it the Bryan.
The
Brian. Oh goodness. Are we?
No.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that back up. I love it. Everybody.
Yes.
You can't look at
sign out.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I regret sharing the picture with you guys.
I do not.
Little did Brian know.
I don't think we heard what Crystal was going to do for 2021 or what she was looking forward to.
I'm gonna get my hands on some Leyline merch. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, what you mean like?
Cause like someone be rocking in. I'm just sitting here. We're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs. Like, when are we gonna get our hands on that? Or have a cool Leyline mug.
I
don't know. Do you know someone where I can?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yes. So Beats Leyline merch is on the way. I believe. I know a guy who knows a guy who's telling me that it's on the way, and we just have to be a little bit patient. But yeah, there will be Leyline merch.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. But for 2021, yeah, I think just kind of trying to stay at Leyline because it's freaking awesome. And I would say because it was after graduation, I'm like looking for a job, but I have Leyline right now, so that's like not on the horizon. I want to work out more. I feel like I say this every year, but it never happens because I'm never motivated enough. Maybe with the Leyline points, I will be, because I'm super competitive and I want to be number 1 on the total points leaderboard now. If it's total points, I'm never gonna be number 1 if we shift it to like total earned points. But if I hoard my points, Jeremy's calling me a weirdo for hoarding my points.
Free money on the website.
I know, when you could trade it for free money. Hello, Crystal, what are you doing? But yeah, I want to work out. Maybe Boogie can help me out with that because I know he teaches. Yeah, he teaches martial arts. We have some cool workout sessions that I have not been a part of, but maybe I will starting from 2021. Who knows?
Get up early in the morning and rock and roll. Yes. Maybe
I'll be a morning person in 2021, and it'll just shift. My circadian rhythm will just magically shift. Cool. How about you guys? Wait, did everyone go? No. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Not bad.
That's okay. That's okay.
We're
It's
at
all
8.
right.
A little
Yeah.
after.
Well, I guess that's our time, folks. Any last things you guys would like to say before we Now I See You Real Soon song? Wait, no, that's Mickey Mouse. Before we go?
I hope, I don't know. I hope 2021 is the comeback year.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a wild ride, and I don't know, my expectations or my bar of expectations I'm keeping low, you know what I mean? Like, well, but I still have that silver lining optimistic hope too, and I know we're doing stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
The bar is really low. I can just roll over the bar from 2020. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
need to step. I can just roly poly over it. Yeah, it's got to be better. I mean, it can only be better, right? Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's aliens.
Oh, please take me. All right, Miss Kristen, do you have any parting words before we go?
No, guys, I can't believe it's already the 31st. Happy New Year's, everyone in chat, everyone on this podcast. Thank you so much, Bryan, for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, as a guest, we love you both ways, but you know, it's exciting to have you on the screen instead of just like behind the scenes. This was fun.
Don't say that. Don't do that. Just kidding. He doesn't do that.
guys.
Any parting words, Mr. Bryan?
I think I'm really excited to see what 2021 has for all of us, right? What it has for Leyline. I think it'll be a good opportunity for us. So let's just keep pounding the pavement and make things work.
All right. Well, on behalf of the Leyline crew, I want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks for stopping by. Check out our Discord community. It is popping. My phone blows up with how many people are joining that Discord every day. It's wild. I see you guys. Thank you very much for your support. Please check out our crowdfunding campaign. You can check it out at leyline.gg/donate. Just go to the website, leyline.gg. Find out more about us. Get some points. Get paid for doing good. Get paid for working out. You know, all of that good stuff. Tune in next week at 7, Wednesday, the 6th of January, 2021. And I hope everybody has a safe, happy New Year's. We love you guys very much. Thank you very much for participating and visiting. And always lead with love. And I guess I have to say it now. Change the game, change the world. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
And finish with the Bryan Chang.
Oh, with the Bryan.
Gotta finish with this.
Clean.
Cody's is pretty good.